What's up? This is Ryan with One Board Family, and today I'm giving you a quick overview of Trash Dash from Shiny Pigeon Games. Now, just a quick note that in this video, you're going to see pre-production copies of all the cards, all the artwork, and everything that is in the game. Now, while the artwork may stay the same, the components are going to be much better in the final version, so take note of that as you watch. In Trash Dash, players are racing around the back alley streets as one of these street critters trying to win the race against their opponents. This is a hand management game where players are going to manage their hand, picking up trash and using that trash against their opponents. They're going to be able to scare away cards, attack their opponents to push them back, and use some of the special effects on the board to try to win this race. Now, the very first thing that you're going to do when you start a new game is pick a critter to race around the track for you. This can be any of the 6 characters, and each of the characters have 2 asymmetric abilities. This character's ability is unique to you, and you're going to be able to use it during your turn. Now that everybody has a character, you're going to set up the board in the middle of the table. You can select one of the racetracks that is in the book, or you can create your own from the many different pieces in the game that make up the raceway. One of the things that I love about this game is the replayability, because you can set up the racetrack any way that you choose using any of the tiles and choosing how many laps that you want the game to last. Now, let's talk about some of the different spaces that you're going to land on throughout the course of the race. This first one is the trash can. On the trash can, when you land on the space, draw 1 trash card, unless you already have a trash card in your hand. Players can only have 1 trash card at a time in their hand. This is the recycling bin. When you land on the space, draw 2 action cards. You're going to keep one, discard the other to the discard pile. Next, we have the spill, which if you land on this space, you're going to actually slide 1 additional space, either forward or backward, based on the direction that you are traveling. This is a great way to get ahead or push another player behind. You definitely want to pay attention to the big old box, because when you are in the box, you cannot be affected by attacks or scares that other players are playing against you. When you are the active player, you're going to choose one of these actions to perform on your turn. First is the rest action. In this action, you're going to choose not to move or attack or do anything. You're actually going to just re-up to 5 cards in your hand and replenish all the missing cards that you had. If you choose not to rest, you can play a movement card or a trash card on your turn. You discard this card and move the number of spaces that it says on the card. If you have an effect like a scare or an attack, you'll perform that at the same time. If you chose to play a trash card, you will follow the directions at the bottom of the trash card, resolving the card as normal. If you have 2 movement cards that have the exact same numerical value on them, you can choose to dash instead. This is where you play both movement cards together and pick up the dash die. Roll the dash die and add this value to your movement card. In this example, if I played 2 number 2 cards and rolled a 3 on the dash die, I would travel a total of 5 spaces ahead. Now, if you have any specials to resolve, this is when you're going to resolve them. If you land on a space and are owed a card, that's when you would pick it up. Or if one of your card effects tell you to do something, you're going to do it at that time. Last up, you're going to draw 1 card from the movement draw pile and end your turn passing it to the player to your left. Now let's talk about attack and scare icons. This attack icon is attached to movement cards, just like the scare icon is. And when I play this card, I'm going to attack another opponent at the table. I'm going to choose them and move their creature back that number of spaces on the attack icon. They're going to move back and take on all the effects of the position that they land on the board. Next up is the scare icon, and this is where you target a player and you randomly remove that number of cards from their hand without looking at them. The player will fan out their cards and you simply take that number of cards out of their hand, placing them in the discard pile. Now, it's important to note, as you attack and push opponents back around the track, you cannot push an opponent back into a previous lap. Players who have started the start of a new lap and passed the start line cannot be pushed back into a previous lap. Trash Dash is an excellent hand management game for the whole family that has great artwork and really cute components. I love the asymmetric abilities of the different players and how replayable it is as you set up new boards each and every time you play. If you want to jump onto the Kickstarter campaign for Trash Dash, you're going to be able to find a link to it in the show notes below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to One Board Family here on YouTube. We would love to see you around the channel. And until next time, we'll see you at the table.